what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lonnie.G, and we back with another video today. Today, we're going to be talking about being the change that you want to see. Now, I decided I wanted to make this video because, one, I feel like it's important to really desire to be the change that you want to see. And I feel like we hear that quote a lot: be the change you want to see in the world. If you see something in the world that you don't like, be the example. But I want to dive deeper into that because I think it's something that, in ways, from the beginning of like civilizations and stuff like that, there has always been this dynamic of following the major consensus versus creating your own path or doing your own thing. And I think for me, like, I kind of see both sides of that. I see both sides of following the masses, following the consensus, doing what's popular. And then I also see the whole idea of, going down the less traveled path, the more underground, what's not popular. I feel like I see both, and I feel like I'm a bridge between both worlds. And to me, I think it's just so important to be the change that you want to see in the world, because a lot of times it's not always easy to stand out or to be different or to do something that most people may not understand or agree with. You know what I'm saying? I feel like in this day and age where we're living in now, where we have the internet, we have social media, we have different platforms, everybody can express themselves, everybody can give their own opinion. But at the same time, what comes with that is people allowing to judge and, share their judgments as well. And I feel like a lot of times I notice how, like, a lot of people, they don't want to risk certain things. They may not want to risk their reputation or risk comfortability to express different opinions or to share things that they may believe in that may be contrary to the norm. And I know for me, like, when I decided to leave the Jehovah's Witness religion, when I decided to not, want to be a part of that anymore, it wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of people telling me that I'm making the wrong choice or I'm making the wrong decision. You know what I'm saying? My parents were looking at me funny, like, folks was doubting me, like, what do you mean you don't want to do this anymore? What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And I had to really, like, dig deep, you know what I'm saying, and ask myself, like, you know what? Why do I not want to be a part of this anymore? You know what I'm saying? And it's not always easy. And I feel like courage and bravery are two things that are very important. And I feel like I'm the type of person, I'm a very dynamic person. It could be a Gemini thing, but, for me, like, change is something that I like. Change is something that I do my best to embrace. I'm very adaptable. And I've noticed that a lot of people may not always be comfortable with that. You know what I'm saying? Some people are a little bit more on the I need stability and comfort side, which is nothing wrong with that. You have to have stability. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I feel like I've always been a little bit more dynamic. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm willing to be more open to different ideas and to doing different things that most people may not be willing to do. And I think that's a trait that I look at all the people in the world, you know what I'm saying, that inspire me or that have done amazing things in the world. You know what I'm saying? People like Nikola Tesla, people like Kanye West, people like Martin Luther King, people like Tupac, so many more people like J. Cole, so many more people I've been inspired by. But to me, they all have the ability to take courage and to stand up and to speak up for what they believe in. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it. It's like, whenever you're doing something new or whenever somebody's doing something new, it may seem weird. It may seem corny. It may seem like, what's the word I'm looking for? It may seem like very, just like misconstrued or, weird. You know what I'm saying? But until it becomes accepted, until it becomes popular, then it's a normal thing. And we've seen that with so many different things. I always bring up the example when I talk about stuff like this. I always bring up the whole idea of, like, when Steve Jobs made the iPhone, think about how many people was, like, talking to him or probably doubting him. Like, yo, like, you're going to make an iPhone? Like, we've never seen that before. You know what I'm saying? We have flip phones. How are you going to make an iPhone? Or what's his name? Henry Ford. When Henry Ford was like, I'm going to create an automobile. I'm going to create a car. The people back in those times are probably like, how are you going to do that? We using horses and carriages. Like, what you mean you going to create a car? Or like the Wright brothers, when the Wright brothers was like, oh, we going to fly. we gonna figure out a way to get the man in the sky. And people around him was like, how y'all gonna fly? Like, that doesn't exist. That's not a thing. How y'all gonna do that? And like, to me, that's what I learned. I learned from all of those different examples throughout history. It's like, a lot of people are uncomfortable with change or don't like when things shift to something new. And that's understandable because, basically our minds, our brains are designed to be wired for comfort, for survival. You know what I'm saying? So when we do things, when things seem out of the norm or seem different, a lot of times our first instinct is to run away from it. Our first instinct is to be like, no, put your guards up. That's different. You know what I'm saying? And to me, like, I feel like it's just, I don't know, bro. Like, it's something like, I feel like everybody doesn't have it in them. I won't say everybody doesn't have it in them, but certain people I just think are just more geared to being more dynamic and willing to just go against the grain. Because you always need like those trendsetters. You need the people, the pioneers, the people that do it first. You know what I'm saying? If certain people didn't do certain things, we wouldn't be where we are today. If Steve Jobs would have never been like, you know what? Let me take this idea to make this iPhone and do something with it. You know what I'm saying? We wouldn't even be having these devices today. If Henry Ford would have been like, man, let me create the automobile. It has to be a better way for us to transport ourselves from point A to point B. If he would have never thought about that, oh shit. Damn. If he would have never thought about that, like, will we be where we are today? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just be thinking about that a lot. Like, if you want to see change in the world, you have to embrace it yourself. You have to be willing to sacrifice, the validation that you might be looking for from other people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've had to learn within my past 2 years of life, is that everybody may not always agree with what you do. You know what I'm saying? And everybody don't have to agree with what you do or what you believe in. But it takes courage to stand out and to be different. And I just look at my own life experience of how, I've been able to leave the Jehovah's Witness religion and move out my parents' house, and just the journey I'm on now. You know what I'm saying? Me being vegan, me working on being a vegan personal chef, being on the spiritual path that I'm on. It's very kind of different than what a lot of people are used to or what a lot of people may understand. But I understand that it's okay, because they may laugh, they may think I'm weird or whatever now, but give it time. Eventually they're going to realize and be like, oh, wow, maybe what he's doing isn't as weird as I thought it was. And that's usually how most people think. They think something is weird because everybody else isn't doing it, or they think something is out of the norm because it's not accepted by the mainstream. But as soon as it becomes mainstream, then it's a thing. You know what I'm saying? We see that so many times with so many different trends and stuff. It's like, it's kind of awkward when it first starts happening, and then over time it becomes a normal thing. That's just the cycle, you know what I'm saying? But I just basically wanted to make this video to talk about, it's important to be the change that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? That's in all areas of life, whether it's mentally, socially, amongst your family, amongst your friends, creative wise. It doesn't matter. Like, if you see yourself wanting to stand out and stand for something different, then do it. Don't let nobody hold you back. Don't let people try to tell you, oh, you can't do this or you can't do that. You're too young or you're not. Like, bro, that's what I'm learning in my life. It's like, you got to stick to your vision. Can't nobody knock you off your path. Once you commit to it, it's like a train on a train track. Like, once that train is locked in and it's going like 100 miles an hour, you ain't going to derail that train. You know what I'm saying? Because it's head full of steam. It's going. And I feel like that's what I'm learning in my life too. Like, sometimes everybody may not understand what you're doing, or everybody may not accept what you're doing or accept you. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, sometimes that validation can be tricky, because I do care about, what people think about me and stuff like that. And I want to be accepted, but I'm also learning too to not be so dependent on the validation of those around you. You know what I'm saying? Don't be so like you're not gonna die if you don't get validated by other people around you. Like, validate yourself. You know what I'm saying? Love yourself first. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, once you start doing that, you just focus on you, then it's like, it's crazy how it happens. Then, like, people will realize, like, oh, wow, like, I see what you're doing, or maybe he actually isn't tripping. Like, maybe he's actually saying some real stuff, or he's working on doing some things that can actually benefit us. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people won't see the vision, and they won't see the vision in the beginning, but you have to stay with it. You know what I'm saying? And just know why you're doing it, your intentions. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make this video to talk about being the change that you want to see. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter what department or what area of life. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be the first, like, I don't know, what's a good example, man? There's so many examples. If you want to be like the first astrophysicist in your family, and that ain't never, you don't know anybody in your life, or none of your friends has ever been an astrophysicist, do it. Show people that you can do this. Show people that you don't have to just live to the stereotype, or you don't have to live to just the average. You know what I'm saying? You can be more than that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like for me, I'm that type of person. Like, I feel like my life is showing people that you don't have to just fall for the norm. You can do something different. You know what I'm saying? You can think differently. You can have your own opinion. You don't have to just go along with everybody else say. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I do that as a person. You know what I'm saying? And I want to be that example for other people. You know what I'm saying? I think about my siblings a lot, my brother and my sister. I think about my old Jehovah's Witness friends. Like, I know they be watching my social media and stuff. I know they be lurking. I see y'all. Oh God, I see y'all. I know y'all be watching me, but it's not even always about doing it for them. But at the same time, I know, like, me being myself and what I'm doing and what I talk about, I know that it's planting a seed. You know what I'm saying? It's planting a seed, showing people, it's showing them, like, you know what, you could do something different. You don't got to just go the path that everybody telling you got to go. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like what I'm doing is a beautiful thing. And, you know what I'm saying? I know I'm going to be the change that I want to see in the world. I want to see more men that are comfortable expressing their emotions. I want to see more people of color that's, you know, into different stuff. We don't have to just be athletes. We don't have to just be entertainers. We can, you know what I'm saying? We can do other stuff. You know what I'm saying? We don't got to just go down the same path that we always been told. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so much that we can do. There's so much power that we have. And I want other people around me to notice that and to see that. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to make this video. You know, I thank y'all for watching. You know, continue to believe in yourself. Continue to remember your power. Like, yo, society don't want you thinking that you are limitless or that you have power beyond measure. They want you to be insecure. They want you to be less confident. You know what I'm saying? They want you to compare yourself. But remember your power. Learn to love yourself. That's what I'm learning. Learn to love yourself, appreciate yourself, be confident in yourself. You know what I'm saying? And connect with other people and uplift other people. Everything don't got to be a competition. You know what I'm saying? There's enough out here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? We live in an abundant world. You know what I'm saying? But I just wanted to make this video. I thank y'all for watching. I thank y'all for supporting me. I thank y'all for all the love. You know what I'm saying? It really means a lot. So it's your boy Lonnie.G. I'm going to catch y'all. Y'all stay up. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you want to follow me on the socials, link is in the description.